Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Winter, and welcome to Toejam Earl, Episode 1. I have no idea how many episodes this is going to take. Hopefully not many. I think they're going to give the backstory here in a moment, so I'm going to try and read that for y'all. I'm trying not to get too in-depth on commentary until they actually start talking. There we go. I'll read it for y'all. Greetings. My name is Toejam. That's the red guy. And this here is my bro, Big Rappin' Earl. That's the guy on the left. Yo, what's up? Earl and myself are highly funky aliens. From outer space. Outer space. More specifically, we are from the planet Funkotron. Funkotron. Thank you, Earl. He's cheesing. So check this out. This is our highly funky, ultra cool, righteous rap master rocket ship. Notice the megawatt speakers, with which Earl and I have been known to crank out some extremely funky tunes. Crank it, Earl. Recently, we ran into a small problem. Oh, look at this movie. We were cruising in our rocket, thumping out a funky beat, when Big Earl said he'd like a shot in the driver's seat. Look at that animation, man. That is classic. Of course, this is from 1991, somewhere around there. I mean, it's early Genesis era stuff. Or Mega Drive, depending on what part of the world you live in. And, you know, I have a lot of fond memories of this game. This is a true classic. And my cousin and I played the hell out of it when we were kids. Oh, listen to the sound effects. This is golden. Oh, that's a long way down, huh? Ah, you should never let Earl drive. Yo, so here we are, chilling out on the most insane planet in the galaxy. Planet Earth. Thanks to Earl. All we have to do now is find the 10 pieces of our rocket ship, and we can jet out of here. No problem. No problem. So that's it. That's the introductory cutscene. What's going on here? Am I starting it again? Yeah, I am. Alright, I gotta figure out the buttons here. Oh, here we go. So obviously this is early Genesis. Two-player game, best enjoyed that way. Again, like I was mentioning earlier, I had a blast when I was a kid playing this with my cousin. Typically I was Earl and she was Toejam. The difference being Toejam has 3 legs, so he walks faster, and Earl is, what's the word? Slightly overweight, maybe? I don't know. He's a big dude, you know, so he's a little bit slower. Yeah, great game though. I enjoy it even single player. And again, I have no idea how many episodes we're going to be doing. We're going to go for random world, so this could be over in 4 episodes. It could be over in 3. As you see down there on the bottom right of the screen, you see that little Toejam is a wiener thing? Well, that's my rank. As you progress through the ranks by accumulating points, you become things like a funk master and a rap lord and things like that. And each rank you go up raises up your hit points slightly, which is that little white bar there on the left next to the lovely little stick figure looking thing of Toejam. The 3 stars are my lives. You can acquire extra lives by either points or opening a present that has one. Of course, the presents you saw I picked up already. You get no continues, so that's why I say I have no idea how long this is going to take. We may not even complete the damn thing, which is fine. I'm just looking to have fun. It's fucking icy outside today. It's cold. I have nothing to do but play Toejam Earl. So, I'll tell you what, let me shut the music up. So what we're looking to do is to progress through these different parts of Earth and find pieces of our rocket ship, which we're then going to collect and slowly rebuild our rocket so that we can get the hell off of this planet and get back to our home world of Funkotron. And to progress through the levels, we need to find elevators, which is that thing off to the right. I don't know how clear that is to a lot of people, because I'm aware there's a certain generation that hasn't really seen elevator fronts like that with the old school needle. I have. There was, years ago, a building in the city that I live not too far outside of, without getting into specifics, that was a public building and actually had the old school elevators with the needle that would, slowly wind up almost like a clock and show you what floor you were going on. It didn't have the blinking lights around it like that does, but it was pretty cool. Something of a relic nowadays, which is kind of sad, but also makes sense. So we're going to be collecting presents, which give us upgrades and special items, weapons, things like that, extra lives. And the cool thing about this game is it's totally random. As you see, I'm playing a random game. You can go with a random game or a fixed game. A fixed game, everything is the same each time you play it. So if you've got a good memory, you can memorize where your enemies are going to be, what your presents look like, shit like that, and you can essentially just plow right through it, I would assume. It's not a very long game. When I beat it a few months ago, it took me like maybe 3 hours. So I'm not anticipating this going for very long. I think in the interest of keeping the episodes short for your interest, I'm going to try and aim for about 30 minutes, just depending on where we're at and what's going on. And I'm going to be recording this in one shot. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. There's no save feature or anything like that. Well, there may be a save feature. I mean, this is the PlayStation 3 version that we're looking at here. This went on PSN a few years ago and is highly cheap. I mean, it cost me like $5, something like that. It's very cool, though. Very retro, as you can see. Early 90s, classic Genesis, all that shit. And I believe this is... I think this is the only game series that the creator of this ever worked on. He put out 3 of them, and from my understanding is working on a 4th one independently, which he went to Kickstarter to fund. And I don't know how that turned out, or if that's still going on. So let's take a look around. What we're doing is we're looking for an elevator right now, and whatever presents we can find. And trying to avoid Earthlings, such as the devil, because I bet you all didn't know he was from Earth, did you? Earthlings are bad. They'll hurt you. They'll hurt you bad if they get you cornered. And there's several different types throughout the game, introduced at a slow rate. There's the only consistency that I've seen through multiple playthroughs of this game, even on a fixed game, or a random game, I guess I should say, is what levels the enemies are introduced. And you see that phone up there? If we get to that phone, that will reveal parts of the map. And chunks of the map are only revealed as we explore into those squares' territory. Oh. And that's our rocket ship. That shows us how many pieces we've got and what it is and whatnot. I'm trying to kind of refamiliarize myself with the buttons. It's, as I said, it's been a few months since I played this one. And these old school Genesis games, they're kind of tricky sometimes to get the hang of with a PlayStation 3 controller, because you only had 3 buttons on the Genesis or Mega Drive controller. And now on PlayStation 3, you've got like what, 7 or 8 of them. So it's a pretty big difference. And can be potentially confusing. Alright, so triangle brings open our presents menu. Those are what I've got. Of course, you don't know what most of the presents are until you open them, but the good thing is, unless you get a present that randomizes it, once you open one particular style, then you can pick that style of present up again, and it will be identified, and you can know what you've got. Oh, and the mailbox here, if you've got money, which you see down there on the left, it says bucks. You pick up money, you can buy presents, and that will hopefully help you progress. Of course, you find things like watermelon, and that's a hamburger. You eat those, and it replenishes your health, and I think accumulates points. So you've got 12 points over there next to the 2. Oh, you can drop presents. Switch between the options with the circle button. I'm guessing square or X will use the present. You want to be smart with your presents, though, because while they are frequent, you cannot always find what it is you need to help you get out of trouble. It's fairly simple, and I don't know, there's something about it. It's got a certain charm to it. Ah, there you go. Sometimes when you're walking around the edges of the world, you can uncover new paths. Ooh, there's $1. Money! Sound design is so awesome for early Genesis, man. It is a classic, you know. I ask anybody that's played it, and I'm sure they all will tell you that they enjoyed the hell out of it and have pretty good memories, nostalgia, if you will, about playing it with a sibling on their couch. Or I think this may have online. I'm not sure, but when I fired it up, there was something about connecting to a server. So I don't know if there's actually an online multiplayer aspect to this PS3 port or what. I didn't want to check it out. I'm kind of leery when it comes to that stuff, you know, online multiplayer. It's always a gamble on who you're going to get. So I thought in the interest of recording, I would just go ahead and do it solo. So there's our elevator. See, we got a pretty good chunk of the map uncleared. Oops, wrong button. See the sleeping devil? You can crouch just like that to sneak past enemies that are fast asleep. It's pretty clever. And here we go, on our way up to level 3. So see, that didn't take long at all. This game can either stretch on for a few hours or it can be over with really quick. It just depends on how many hits you take. I would like to say that there's a strategy to it, but for the most part there's not. You know, it's just, you just walk around and find shit. Oh, look at that, 2 of the same kind. That's a mushroom there, that purple thing. That'll take health away from you. You want to stay away from those. Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a present. Fish bones. I mean, it's fairly simplistic stuff, you know? Nothing was really too deep back in the early 90s. Which is what I think is, you know, it's the golden era for me. I mean, this is the kind of shit I grew up playing. Well, not necessarily this, but I mean, it was a part of my childhood, you know? Oh, there we go. Let's follow the branching path. Bacon and eggs. Let's see if we can find the phone. Oh, yep, there we go, and I'll show you what the phone does. Bam! And the music, man, I love the music. I've actually got the entire soundtrack on a CD that I keep in the car. So, I'd just be, you know, cruising down the road, jamming out to the Big Girl Bump or whatever. It's only 5 tracks, so the music's gonna get repetitive after a while, and it's on a constant loop. And you can fall off the edge of the world. I should have done that on the previous level, just to kind of show what happens whenever we fall, it takes you back to your previous level. Then you got to refine the elevator, get back to it. Sometimes you land close to it, sometimes you're millions of miles away. But I like the illusion of motion there, how they just... the background scrolls and the elevator is stationary. It works. Oh, this is my favorite track right here. See the hula girl up there? Stay away from those. We'll get suckered in later on, I'm sure, so I'm not going to show you at the moment, but they can distract you and keep you kind of hypnotized in one spot. Excuse me. While an Earthling sneaks up behind you and attacks the shit out of you. Mystery present. Swahili Hootie. I got all kinds of nicknames for him. See, that's what happens. You get stuck in this little trance. And then you can't move for a few seconds. You gotta... well, on the PlayStation 3, we're using the joystick to move. Or not the joystick, but the thumbstick. I just got a promotion there. I'm a doofus now. Of course, some people would say that I always have been. And others still would be even more unkind. Oh, damn it. See what I'm talking about? Now the hamster in the wheel's gonna get me. Here we go. Oh, shit. Oh, let's get away from that guy. Can you all hear the little rip-off Jaws music? See if I can get it to play again. Pretty big water world. Of course, your air meter is just your health meter. So the lower amount of health you have, the less air you have. So swimming, while necessary in some levels, can be pretty hazardous. And Cupid is a fucking motherfucker. What the Cupid does, and I'm sure we'll see that too at some point. I don't need to show any of these enemy types off to you, because I just know that we're going to run into them and have a bad encounter. But what Cupid does is he'll shoot his little bow and arrow at you. And if he hits you, he makes you fall in love. See, health went up a little bit. But if you fall in love, then the control scheme is automatically inverted. And left becomes right, and up becomes down, and shit like that. Pretty clever. But can be problematic when it first hits you. And if you're not used to it, can definitely be problematic. Bees. You know, as I said, Toejam walks pretty fast for his 3 legs, but there are still enemies that he can't outrun. When we get to level 5, which is the next level, look at taunting the enemy. When we get to level 5, we're going to encounter a dentist for the first time, and those motherfuckers run fast. So that's when your presents come into play, like things like your super high tops, which make you run really fast. You can get Icarus wings and fly. Rocket skates are the best. Those fucking things are cool. But you got to be real careful, because you can easily screw yourself with those. Alright, let's move on up to 5. Maybe we'll get a ship piece on this one. And if you play 2 players and have Earl in the elevator with you, you'll have conversations as you go in between the levels, and they're pretty funny. You know, just like everything else about this game, it's kind of cheesy. Yeah, see, there's our hint. Now we got a ship piece to find. It's kind of cheesy dialogue, you know. But, I mean, gaming, this is meant for kids. You know, this is from the era when video games were for kids and for kids only. There were very few adults playing at the time. So a lot of the humor is very... I don't want to say simple or stupid or anything like that, but it's definitely kid-friendly. You know, they're not going to shout explicit language out or anything like that. That was Q*bert. The road, you get pretty good traction on the road. You can run or walk slightly faster on it. Alright, there's our elevator. How big is this world? Fairly lengthy. The money comes into play by not only garnering you points, which I'm up to 66 now, so I haven't actually been able to put a finger on how you get the points. I mean, you get points for opening a present. I know that. And I can only assume that you also get points for picking up a health item and picking up presents. I've yet to determine if you actually acquire points by progressing through the level and clearing a level. Look at that, $2 right there. Oh, hey, there we go. So this is what you do with the money. You find the carrot dude down here, because that's a guy in a carrot suit. You talk to him. And for $2, he will identify whatever present you've got. Unfall, that if we fall off the edge of the earth, we'll be able to come back to the level we fell from. Doorway will take us to an unmarked part on the map, or an area that we haven't cleared yet. Well, no, actually, you know what it does is, I'm sorry, it'll take us randomly anywhere on the map, uncovered or not. Slingshot, a weapon that shoots tomatoes at enemies. Total bummer, that kills you. That's an instant death right there. Thank God, that's a nice one to ID. And what else have we got? What do you think? I like this one here. Fudge Sundae, that's a health item. So he comes in handy, but you know, $2 is the asking price, and he's not on every level. Hey, here's our ship piece. That's an awesome snowboard. Jammin. Alright, so let's drop the total bummer. Oops, I gotta figure out how to do it. Hit the circle to go to drop, and then let me try square. Yeah, that did it. Circle and then square, and then we'll replace that with this. Since our inventory is full, let's taunt Cupid, just like everybody does. And we'll move on. Fish bones. Alright, here we go. Ship piece. Sand, you can sink down into that, and if you sink into the sand, you will fall asleep, which, much like getting caught up by the hula girls, can put you in a bad position if there's Earthlings around. The lethal kind of Earthlings. This should be the level where we get introduced to the boogeyman. That wizard-looking lady there, I believe if you've got $3, she'll give you an extra life. Or restore your health, one of the two. Oh my goodness, this is a big one. It may be she gives you an extra life the first time you speak to her, and then every time after that she will replenish health only. But I could be wrong on that. Again, it's been a while. Oh shit. The moles, that's bad news. They'll steal presents from you if they get you. Oh shit, just like that. Yeah, of course I used the super high tops. What did I pick up? Got 2 fudge sundaes. Well, I can use that. Pick up the other one. Here's our ship piece. Rear leg. I'm shocked the mole was introduced so early. I thought that was like a level 9 or level 10 thing. Where are we at? kind of the normal routine with this game is if you find the ship piece, like if it's a big map like this evidently is, if the ship piece is in one corner, then your elevator will be in the other. So let's see if we can't kind of go to the middle of the map and maybe get an expansion drawn up. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta play the mechanics like that. Kind of abuse the system, as it were. There we go, we're gonna make it. Look at that. Oh, just as the high tops ran out. There was a boogeyman hanging out by there. Little shadow, real quick. And I don't think I need to explain the potential danger that comes from dealing with an enemy that is invisible until right before you walk into it. I want to get to that upper right corner and check over there. So let's see if we can get something to kind of pop out. The only way you can trigger those is you got to get pretty much right on the edge. You got to get pretty goddamn close. I'm going the wrong way, but I'm hoping there's going to be one that pops out and kind of loops back around. And I'm also trying to lose the bees. So those things got like a homing beacon or something. They'll find you if they see you once. And if you watched the Wonder Boy series, you noticed in that I was able to change the backgrounds of the screen, and I'm able to do that with this as well because it was ported over by the same company, M2, which I've never heard of before, either one of these games. And you can choose between 5 backgrounds. You can have basic blank, this one here, which is the box artwork, and there's a couple more that are just kind of tacked on and kind of cheesy looking. I'll do a little record of the extras. There's not many, but I'll show them off. You get to select your background, and there's also a jukebox option which plays all the music from the game. So I'll do a video on that before the next episode. I'll do it at the introduction of the next episode. I'll edit it in. There's a promotion, point extra life, that's what the fireworks mean. So yeah, you do get points for finding money. And there we go, extra life. 4 stars. That's better than minus 5 stars. If I can evoke a little botchamania. Good lord, where am I? Not going where I want to go, but now I am curious if there's anything down here. Yeah, there is something, a bigger area. Maybe the elevator would be hanging out down here. I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of sort of hide and seek. Alright, well, we've been over there and there was nothing there. I really want to get up there to the upper right and explore that territory. Because at this point, I'm convinced that's exactly where the elevator will be. Maybe those bees are gone now and we can actually get over there. And maybe I can break out of the routine, I guess I should say, of walking into Hula Girls. But it fits, you know, this absolutely fits in with early 90s culture, because if you were there, you know, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or Bel-Air, I guess I should say, that's probably the proper pronunciation, but, you know, Fresh Prince was huge, and shows like Blossom and shit like that, and they all had a, well, Fresh Prince at least, had a, you know, hip-hop theme to it. Obviously with Will Smith. And it was a good show, you know, so this just kind of, it's definitely of its time. Making these guys intergalactic rappers and the soundtrack. It's good music though, and the music was actually written and performed by the creator of the game. What I want to do is find the elevator and call it an episode. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I'm going to try to keep these at 30 minutes for y'all's sake. And I'm not trying to milk the series by, you know, have it go on for 12 episodes or anything like that. I actually don't enjoy producing a long series like that, though sometimes it can't be helped. Especially like with Dead Space, you know, that would have been, if I would have combined those episodes, that would have been, you know, 2 hours a piece. And I know not everybody has that kind of time. I did that with Red Dead, but, you know, one could argue that's kind of a niche game. Excuse me, got the hiccups today. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I'm going to try to keep them short, about 30 minutes, somewhere in that time frame. And hopefully, you know, as you see, we're already on level 7. Hopefully this won't be more than maybe 4 or 5 episodes, if that. You know, it's going to be fairly short. Anyways, I'll go ahead and call this an episode. And when you start episode 2, we'll have a look at the extras menu. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking an interest, and hopefully there was something of entertainment or even, dare I say it, educational value in this. My name is Winter. I'll see you back here for Toejam and Earl episode 2. Everybody take care out there.